Hello, everybody. So, today I am going to be talking about the meaning behind the song that I just uploaded called She's Just a Little Girl. And I am wearing my Global Glimpse shirt. I also was wearing my Global Glimpse shirt in the other video because this song was about a certain day in Global Glimpse. Again, it's like a very big part of my life. I talked about it in another video, and I'm gonna be doing a series soon about every single day in Global Glimpse and like what we did and whatever. So this is called She's Just a Little Girl, and I actually wrote it for the Alumni Ambassadors storytelling alumni seminar. And so everyone was supposed to go up and tell a story from Global Glimpse, and I decided that I should tell a story through song because that's what I do. I write my own songs. So this was based on the Poverty Aid and Development Day, and we were supposed to shadow a child or someone a few years younger than us, around our age, a little bit younger, who sells things on the street. And so me and my friend Allison, we followed this little girl named Lizette. She is 13. I think by now she's probably 14. And she is the girl that I reference a lot. So she sells bracelets on the street, and she is taking English classes, and she's trying to, help her mom, with money and stuff like that. So that's she sells bracelets on the street. Now she doesn't necessarily get money to eat, but I remember me and Allison, we took her to this fried chicken place in downtown Riobamba, and she was eating in such a pristine etiquette way. I don't know how to really say it, but we eat fried chicken like with our hands, right? But she was eating it with a knife and fork. And that blew my mind because we Americans are like animals. They're eating fried chicken with a knife and a fork, and with fries, like they use a fork to pick up their fries and they dip it in. We use our hands. Like, we have utensils, but we don't use them for like half the things that we eat. Yeah, so that was that line. She's trying to like go to school, and like I said, she takes English classes. So when I was talking to Allison to tell her to translate something, I would say something in English, and she would understand me a little bit. And so when I would say, like, oh, am I saying this right? I would say something in Spanish, and I would say, am I saying this right? She would understand what I was saying. And so, like, she's just trying to live her life as a kid. But, these kids that are selling things on the street, they have to grow up so fast. They have no time to, like, sit down and be a kid. Which is actually, like, me and a couple of my friends, we were obsessed with playing Uno over the trip, like when we were like getting ready for bed or whatever. And someone brought an Uno deck, and they wanted to play with us, and we're like, sure. They had no idea how to play, but it was like they were so like they wanted to play because they don't get a chance to. They're out there in parks and on the streets like trying to get money, and it's like it's heartbreaking. But they want to be kids. They just can't. So the chorus is this one of the whole countries you refer to? Is this a place you've really been? She's just a little girl, not a sin. So I wrote this back when that whole S-hole countries things were being talked about. I don't remember which countries, but like Donald Trump was talking about like African countries and other countries being S-hole countries. I just don't want to say it because it's kind of disgusting. So I was like, this is like a question to him, like, is Ecuador a country that you were referring to as an S-hole country? But I didn't say S-hole, I just said hole, because, you know. And then, like, politicians are supposed to go to countries and, like, or at least, like, American politicians, because we are so lucky as Americans. A lot of Americans are lucky to be able to, you know, have a phone and being able to upload videos to YouTube, but not a lot of countries are like that. So I was just saying, hey, have you ever been to Ecuador? Have you ever been to Riobamba? Have you ever seen the kind of things that these people go through? So, yeah, that's that. And then she's not a sin. Like, she can come here legally if she wants to. She has every right to come here and, like, help. Like, I don't really understand politics because that's not in the field that I'm going into, but, you know, like, she's not asshole. She's not trash. She's a girl. She's just like you and me. And then I talked about this boy. He's just a little boy. And a lot of the other members of Global Glimpse in my delegation had to shadow and help out these boys that were shining shoes in the park. And, like, they would ask everyone, can I shine your shoes? Can I shine your shoes? Can I shine your shoes? Because that's how they make money. Their hands and nails are black. And not because, like, it's because of the way that they shine the shoes. Like, they're working with their hands the entire time. They have dirt under their nails. And it was just crazy. So, he's just a little boy shining his way to a better life, shining shoes. Have you felt his strife? Like, have you really understood what this little boy goes through on day to day? Like, we are so lucky that, like, we take the subway to work on the Upper East Side or wherever you work, or, like, something like that. You have a car to drive to work. You walk to work. Have you ever had to shine a person's shoes in the park when you were 7 years old? I don't think you have. And then there were these other boys, this other group of boys, and they have these big backpacks, like, huge, probably like the size of my torso, and on their backs, and they have these little ices, and everything in Ecuador is so much cheaper than things here. They sell ices for 5 cents, 10 cents, 15 cents, 25 cents, and 50 cents. Ices. Like those little, like, those plastic things, and they gotta, like, push them up. Like, just that. And they're natural, too. Like, the ones in America, they're full of sugar and artificial flavors. These were natural, like, made from fruit things. And they're so much cheaper. And they were selling them for 10 cents. I thought that was, like, so different than here. And then there was the line, they're always tense, because they're children and they are, like, selling things on the street and they don't have a permit, because even in Ecuador you still need a permit to sell things. They're always, like, hiding, and this is going to go into the bridge as well, running from law enforcement because they can get fined and arrested, and they honestly just can't afford to be fined and arrested, because... And then this, again, goes into the bridge. They're trying to pay for school uniforms, trying to help their parents, like, pay rent, or, you know, give money to buy food to put on the table for dinner. And the last two lines that I want to discuss is the last two lines of the bridge. It's not that easy once you realize the reality. Working with Lizette was so difficult, because, like, we would go up to someone and be like, oh, we're selling bracelets for $1, and people would be rude and they would ignore us and, like, just tell us to go away. And this, like, kind of relates to, like, the way that I see New Yorkers. Like, there are these people handing out pamphlets for Broadway shows, and that's their job, to hand out pamphlets in Times Square. and we just walk by and ignore them. So at least now I try to say no thank you. But a lot of people, even in America and in Riobamba, just ignore them, and their job isn't easy. Like, I'm not saying any job is easy, but people don't understand that that is someone's job, and they make money based on how many they give out or don't give out, you know. And no one really realizes it until you see a 13-year-old girl trying to sell bracelets on the street for $1 to help her mom. No one understands how hard it is until you see that. One of the best things about this, though, was when we all met back in, like, the square, and we were all able to meet each other's kids. We bought things from every kid. Lizette actually ran out of bracelets, and, like, she sold them all to the entire delegation. Like, the boys were running out of ices and ice cream, and I just, like, being a part of, especially this day, that day in Global Glimpse it gave me hope for the world. It really showed that, like, there are good people in the world that are trying to help others. I'm sorry. And it just showed that, like, we're here for people that, you know, don't have it as great as we do. So I'm gonna end this video now. I will put a few pictures here. So I will see you guys tomorrow.